3,560 feet to the top of Snowdon, and you do it sitting down. Return fare, 10 bob. And there are always more customers than seats. 50,000 last year to be exact, so let's take ours. Powerful steel cogs prevent you running backwards, so just relax.
The railway runs up very, very steep gradients, maximum of 1 in 5.5. Ordinary adhesion between wheel and rail is insufficient, so all the motive power is transmitted through the rack and the pinion. There is a pinion on the axles of the locomotive engaging with the rack, and that claws its way up the hill using this system.
Mother, what's that funny thing? It's all right, dear. It's only stupid men playing trains. You'll get used to it. The going's getting tougher. In the steepest places, a gradient of 1 in 5, and it's hard work on the engine. But for all its smallness, it's more powerful than many a mainline engine.
The little engines might be powerful, but no mainline passenger would tolerate an hour to do 5 miles. But as the saying goes, it's sometimes better to travel hopefully than to arrive, and Snowdon's passengers are in no hurry. Today, the railway carts 150,000 pleasure seekers up to the summit every year to enjoy the rocks, the view, and a chocolate wagon wheel. There was once a summit hotel where the leisured classes could make a weekend of it. These days, the only overnighters are the staff. The railway employs 100 people. Many are descended from workers in the defunct Slate mines, like the driver of this engine, Michael Roberts, whose father was a quarryman.
Dwi'n gweithio yma ers 3 mlynedd wrth y dreifar. Da ni'n cyrraedd y coffa, barod mynd I lawr, a da ni'n tsecio yr injan drosodd, oiliau, a jyst neud y saff o ti'n barod mynd I lawr. Oce, yr unig beth da ni'n neud bob dim sy'n symud, gyda ni'r piston, y slide bar, y falfia, da ni'n oilio hynna I gyd. Gyda ni springs, da ni'n dweud saff bod y springs yn gyfa, bod na'n byd I torri a ni, bod y pipia, rhai o'r pipia sy'n oilio'r bogi a'r axles, dim byd torri. Os oes na rhywbeth isio saim, da ni'n rhoi saim yn nhw. Dyna fo, really.
The survival of Snowdon's engines is testimony to their constant care. Lubrication and keeping the fire clean of clinker are essential to keep steam up for the return journey. The locos are never attached to the carriages. They are pushers on the way up and serve as a brake on the way down. Over their 100-year lifetime, each engine has done 250,000 miles. However, number 1 didn't make it beyond the first day.
Tren gyntaf sy'n fyny Wyddfa, nath nhw golli'n injan a ffordd I lawr, a ti rhedag I ffwrdd, a ti dros yr ochr. Ond yn lwcus oedd y carriage ar wahân, a ti meddwl, ond o'n rwy'n di neidio I ffwrdd ag ath o'i ladd, na'n ffodus.
From this inauspicious start, the Snowdon Mountain Railway has never looked back. Unlike other narrow-gauge railways, whose fortunes are inseparable from industrial progress, Snowdon's natural qualities are timeless. Just like the human need for holidays, where the rat race gives way to time, space, and a little train ride to nowhere in particular. Since it closed to Slate traffic in 1946, the Festiniog Railway has pioneered the running of industrial trains for pleasure. The 14-mile track was built to carry finished slate to Porthmadog to be shipped all over the empire. This is the original works and railway's spiritual home. It's a temple to the fleet of 22 locos and 40 carriages, which are looked after by 1,000 or so railway devotees. In 1869, engineer Robert Fairley tailor-made a powerful loco to work within the limits of narrow gauge. This was the result.
The Fairley is a very powerful locomotive for its size. It's effectively two locomotives in one, so you only need one crew to man them, which was very important in the manning costs. It was the first articulated locomotive that worked. It has a main carrier with a boiler on top of that, with two articulated bogies, which are both powered. So it's a very, very powerful, very compact engine, with all of its weight being transferred onto its powered wheels. So it was able to pull very long, very heavy trains. It needs to be flexible to go round the tight contours of the line, because the line effectively follows the lines in the mountain, and it's cut into a shelf in the mountainside. So by having a locomotive that's articulated, it's able to go around the tight bends which are on this railway, which wouldn't be possible if it was a fixed, rigid wheelbase engine.
Robert Fairley's engine doubled the haulage capacity of the Festiniog and was so successful that in gratitude he waived the patent fee. As a result, modern steam Fairleys have been built that run on oil rather than coal.
We have the Earl of Meirionydd, which was built in 1977, and David Lloyd George, which was built and completed in the 1990s. They're very much the same as the original designs were. David Lloyd George is far more powerful, and the Earl of Meirionydd was built to be able to do the whole line on one fueling of oil and water. So that's austerity style Fairley, if you like. My dad worked on the railway, my grandfather worked on the railway, my granddad on my mother's side worked on the railway. I wanted to be an engine driver. I'm here to fulfill my dream.
This man fulfilled his dream in 1926. On the spongy marshland of the Kent coast, millionaire Captain Jack Howie built a 15-inch gauge railway.
Howie's objective when he built the railway in the first place was to have it completely up to date. He modelled the best and most modern steam locomotives that at that time were roaring up and down between London and Edinburgh. And he wasn't thinking of building a period piece at all. It was going to be a main line in miniature, right bang up to date.
In 1927, right bang up to date meant this, a third-scale model of a mainline express, just like Flying Scotsman. 50 years ago, after wartime service as an army loco driver, George Barlow started at the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway.
You've got a bunker of coal and a tank of water, and if you don't do things right, then you won't get there. You're making your own power going along, and it's the challenge. We had 13 ungated crossings, we still have on the railway. They're controlled by lights now, but of course no one could envisage the growth of road traffic when this railway was built. You'd have an awful job to build this railway today, crossing public roads on the level 13 times in 14 miles.